course. Good. Excellent. It's good to hear.
McCoy right there on that stop.
So Cochran and company driving here. I formation just outside the 20-yard line. Sioux Falls showing blitz, backs off of it. Swing pass, I believe that was over to his fullback. And he gets knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9 coming up.
A.J. Levy said, look, you're not going to run on my house.
So 2nd and 9 coming up. 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. Cochran under center, pro set. He's going to pass again. Deep pass to the right-hand side. Got a man. Touchdown, Alaska.
Is Jeff
Como, yeah. Jeff Como with a great grab. Beat his man off the line, able to slide in the end zone and make the grab for the touchdown. That was a heck of a throw by Cochran to beat his man into the end zone. And Alaska finally on the board. Pending the extra point, they will have a 7-3 lead, and they do. 7:43 left to go in the first half. Finally, we get Alaska on the board here, Shan.
And it all comes down to that great defensive play by Tony Willis, getting that grab from Redford, and Alaska's now moving the ball, and they just scored. And
everything's starting to come up roses for Alaska as they're kicking the ball off here. Burchett netting the extra point and kicking the ball off. A.J. Warren fields it about a yard deep in his end zone, trying to follow some blockers, but he'll get nailed at about the 21, 22-yard line, and that's when Sioux Falls will take over. We'll pause for a moment from the SFL. You're watching the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music.
Follow the SFL on Twitter at SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
Redford gets a screen pass off of that play from first down, and looks like they'll have a flag on the field here. And another face mask call. The ref seems a little happy with the face mask calls today, Shan. Maybe I'm just a little new at looking at those animations, but I didn't necessarily see a face mask. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have been watching All-Pro football for a while might see it a little bit differently, but I certainly didn't see it on that play. So 1st and inches now for Tyree. Short drop. He's got a man on the right-hand side. A.J. Warren could have gotten some more yardage, but ducks out of bounds. And it'll be a 1st and 10 upcoming.
A.J. was worried more about the catch than where his feet was at, and that's what you have to do. You have to keep your eye on the ball, catch it, and then make positive yardage out of that.
And make sure we download that ScoreStream app. It is the official scorekeeping app of the SFL. It is free to download on both Android and iOS. As Tyree will take another snap, another out route to Michael Moore, and he gets gang tackled about the 45-yard line or so.
Alaska is storming to these receivers. Put them up quick, and you, like you said, you have a gang of Alaska Storm members rushing to the
Seeing Alex Dominguez in the chat saying he needs some sacks. Hasn't been a whole lot of pressure from this Storm defense here as Redford gets a screen pass one-handed, but Willis knocks him down. He's already gotten a pick off of one of those today.
Willis is trying to put this team on his back and putting his defense up and saying, hey, we've got to make these stops. We've got to give our offense a chance to get back into this game.
3rd and 5 now. 4 wideouts for Tyree. He's in the shotgun. Redford sidecar left. He's going to throw it. Had a man, but the defense was ready for it on that play. What a play by Carroll, and he tips the ball away. Incomplete, 4th down upcoming.
If he would have tipped that ball back to Redford, I would have gone crazy.
That's what I was thinking was going to happen, honestly. I was watching it unfold, thinking that he might have just volleyball tipped it right into his opponent. But it falls incomplete. 4th and 5 now. A 7-3 ball game in Anchorage as Sioux Falls punts it away. Fielded just shy of the 20-yard line, and they will actually bring it up to about the 21. So we'll see what the Storm can do after finally getting on the board on their last possession. Great play by Ron Cochran and company.
I think going back to what you said earlier is that Alaska's defense is putting pressure, but Julian Tyree is getting the ball out so quickly that get to the quarterback.
It's true. As Cochran takes the snap, throws it over to the right-hand side, nabbed by Merrill. One-handed grab. It's only going to give him about 2 or 3. 2nd and 6 upcoming.
And I love what Alaska's doing right now. You know, they're calming Cochran down. They're getting the ball out quickly. You know, they're making these corners for Sioux Falls work for these receivers to brought down.
Seems both these teams have come out with similar game plans. A lot of short passes, not a whole lot of deep routes. As Cochran throws it over the middle in the triple coverage. Tipped away, incomplete. I think Dodd was in there that swatted that ball away.
As soon as I just say that, Cochran makes a mistake and tries to throw it into double coverage.
He has been a little bit more patient since throwing that first pick early on that first possession, but now he's faced with a 3rd and 6 as he's in the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield. 3 wideouts. Cochran stands in the pocket. Deep throw down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. He just needed a little bit more air to get past A.J. Levy back there.
Levy was ready for that. Ron Cochran, you got to be careful. Dodd and Levy is back there, and they can make deep passes.
So June Tutu is going to be punting the ball away again for Alaska. Storm holding a slim 4-point lead with 5:14 left to go in the first half. Once again, this being semifinal number 1 here on the SFL network as Sioux Falls calls for a fair catch. Michael Moore will set up shop with Julian Tyree and company at the 40-yard line.
That was a smart decision by Sioux Falls. It gives them great field position. No need to test the waters and possibly a fumble on that play.
We get a look at Redford's numbers so far. 8 carries, 47 yards. Not bad for a first half of play. As they come out in an I formation, Tyree with time, he's going to be sacked finally, and I think that's Big Sexy getting in there and getting on the board with a sack.
A little trash talking afterwards.
And why not? Why wouldn't he? Just comes right up the middle, just blows his man away, and Tyree ends up on his back wondering what happened. Three wideouts this time for Sioux Falls. Redford in the backfield, Tyree under center. He'll drop back, throws it over the middle, had 2 receivers in the area. Somehow Moore comes down with the grab, and he gets it for first down yardage.
Double coverage again, but Moore was able to get that reception. Julian Tyree and
kind of a strange looking play as, like I said, there were 2 receivers in the area. Moore being the one that nets the catch, as Tyree is going to throw another out route to Warren, who gets about 5 or 6 on that play. It'll be 2nd and 4 upcoming.
Tyree is seeing that defense in that nickel formation with the 4-2. And these receivers out routes, but the corners are just going back a little bit too far.
Giving them
and
a
just
little bit
allowing
too
them
much
to get
cushion.
underneath them. Absolutely.
Throw over the middle. This time Warren catches it over the middle, and he gets nailed. And he is a little bit slow to get up. That's actually Harrelson with the grab. And Ryan Tobin was there to greet him. Another first down, 3:13 and counting. As Tyree throws it another out route. I'm not sure if Harrelson got his foot in bounds this time. They'll call it an incompletion, 2nd and 10 upcoming.
It looked like he had at least one of his foot.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, but we're not going to get a challenge from either squad here. As Tyree is going to line up under center again. 3 wideouts, pro set. Tyree to throw, throws it quickly and gets it out over the middle, and another first down for Sioux Falls. This dink and dunk passing game is what's moving them down the field. Tyree under center again. He's going to throw a screen pass to Redford. Got a blocker out there. He needed to move back inside, but he's still able to, I think, get the first down yardage.
First down here, but it was immediately knocked out of bounds. On that play.
Davidson getting shoved by the offensive lineman. And Redford, like I said, probably should have cut it back inside to avoid the blocker. Might have gotten a few more extra yards. But it still sets him up nicely with a 1st and goal. Tyree with 3 wideouts. Short drop, and he gets sacked right away. What a big play by the Alaska defensive front. Nabs them down for a short loss. It'll be 2nd and goal upcoming.
Us there. I like Big Sexy. He brings so much to that defensive line.
And that'll be the final play before the 2-minute warning. 7-3 ball game here in Alaska. 2 minutes left to go in the first half. We'll see what Sioux Falls can do. Maybe take the lead before they go into the locker rooms. Tyree, a quick handoff to Redford. Barrels over a defender. Past the 5-yard line, down to the 4.
Get run by Redford right up the middle. Eric, if you're running the ball up to the middle on him.
Redford's just got to keep on trucking over, guys. With a small stature, it's going to be hard against this Alaska defense. Tyree to throw it over the middle. Did he get across the goal line? No! Morris stopped at the goal line.
Crossed over, but I'm not sure if the ball crossed over, Eric.
I definitely saw his shoulder cross over, but yeah, I think you're right. I don't believe he got that ball across. Sioux Falls isn't going to challenge it. They're going to set up a quick field goal attempt here by Prefontaine.
Eric, this is the 2nd time that Sioux Falls have drove the ball all the way down, used this clock, come away with a field goal.
And they're letting this clock drain. Don't want to give Alaska any other opportunities to get on the board before the half. Snap was a little off, but the kick is up and good. Sioux Falls narrows the gap to 1 off of Prefontaine's foot, who's scored all 6 points for the Sparrows. 40 seconds left to go in the first half. What do you think Alaska's going to do to end the half here, Shan?
they're just going to run the ball out. If they pass the ball, it's going to be short. Keep it simple. Don't make any mistakes, and go into the locker room knowing that you have the lead, and blaze in the second half.
Fielded just shy of the 10-yard line. Alaska's going to bring it up. Merrill on the return. He'll bring it out just shy of the 30. And Alaska's got all 3 timeouts. We'll see what they want to do here. I anticipate the same thing, though, Shan. I anticipate them to just hand it off to Nordellis and just get out of here, lick your wounds in at the half, and come out strong in the second half.
Absolutely.
No running back in the backfield. Cochran's going to throw a short pass, spin move, and they're going to call a quick timeout here as Merrill was the recipient of that catch. A good 8 or 9 yard chunk there.
I don't understand why the play call here for a you make the catch, you're in bounds, just let the clock run out and go to the locker room. But obviously Mighty and that has something else.
We'll see what the Storm has up their sleeve here for this final drive of the second half, or what appears to be the final drive of the second half. Of the first half, excuse me. 3 wideouts, 2 backs in the backfield. Cochran under center. Short drop. He'll throw a screen to Nordellis, and the same exact play. Levant Irvine's going to take it the other way, and he's dragged down at the 7.
Crazy. That's the second play we've seen come off of a interception, just a fumble off of, oh man. That,
2 of those
easy.
in the same game, though? Just unbelievable. And I guess I jinxed them, Shan. I said that it might not be the last possession of this first half. So Tyree, short drop. He's hit as he's thrown. And the clock's going to stop with 24 seconds. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up.
Not sure what Julian Tyree was looking at. I would have threw that swing pass to the outside. There was nobody over there. The corner head went back with that receiver that was on the outside out there. And just a quick little screen pass over there would have been.
A heavier formation here, extra tight end here, as Redford gets a handoff, squeaks through the line of scrimmage into the end zone. Touchdown, Sparrows.
Alaska was tired because they just came off the field and now they're.
That's the only thing I can imagine is that they're feeling a little bit heavier. Legs are feeling a little bit heavier because of, them just getting off the field. Regardless, though, Redford able to just slide through that offensive line there. That was a heck of a play by him. Prefontaine, good snap, and the kick is up and good. Sioux Falls now in the lead off of that Levant Irvine interception. We've seen 2 of those interceptions in this game, 1 for each team, and it still is unbelievable as I think about it. So now with 21 seconds left to go, maybe this time, Shane, we'll see the last drive here of this first half.
The only difference is the last drive, they just needed to keep it short and simple. This time, they've got to chunk the ball.
I still think that they should just get out of it, just off of that bananas turnover. They need to just get in the locker room, figure out what the heck is going wrong, and come out guns blazing in the second half. But that's just me, because Cochran's going to throw the ball here with no running back in the backfield.
This defense is backing up. They're ready for this deep ball.
Cochran's going to throw it deep, and they weren't as ready as you thought. He's able to get it past midfield by just a hair as Alaska's running up here I'm not sure why they're not calling any of their timeouts. They finally do with 3 seconds left to go.
It's funny that you say that because the last possession they had, they made one play 5 yards out, and then they call it a timeout right off the bat. 3 or 4 seconds on this last timeout. Easy.
So Cochran's talking things over with Max Paul on the sideline. He does have a strong enough arm to possibly make it close enough to the end zone for a Hail Mary here. Only seen 2 ever work. You and I called one, though.
Yeah, totally.
Cochran taking his time. He's going to heave it towards the end zone. Clock expired, and it's picked off in the back of the end zone.
That is what we see 9 times out of 10.
Exactly. It's one of the backup strong safeties getting in there, getting his name on the scoreboard, and getting those feet in bounds. That was actually a great play. Get that man a contract.
Wasn't it?
2K Sports halftime show coming up here. Sioux Falls with a 13-7 lead as both teams go into the locker room. You are watching the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music. Sioux Falls able to receive the first half kickoff. They will now kick off to start things off with a 13-7 lead. As we're getting a look here in Anchorage, Alaska, the eye of the storm. And the hometown Storm have some work to do, Shan.
Absolutely. They just calm down and start making these turnovers. And the defense is playing solid.
Defense is arguably keeping them in the ball game right now, as Robert Merrill brings it out to about the 30-yard line again. And we'll see what Cochran and company want to do here. As we said before, both these teams coming out with similar game plans. A lot of short passes, not a whole lot deep downfield. Cochran
I just
under
think
center.
that both teams, I think respect the safeties. I think they respect each other's defense, and they don't want to make a mistake.
So Optimus Klein gets a catch there for, they're actually going to rule it incompletion. And both these teams have great safeties on the back end, as they actually ruled it short of a first down. It'll be a 9-yard gain by Optimus Klein there. to a 2nd and inches as Sioux Falls stacks the box. They're going to back out of it. Throws over the middle. That's caught. Almost another disaster there, but Robert Merrill able to reel in the catch.
Alex Parker and Nick Fargo was right there to wrap that up quickly.
The Sioux Falls defense has been great all year. We mentioned their linebackers, their safeties are fantastic. Both these defenses, though, have been playing lights out, and it's a much lower scoring game than we were anticipating. As Cochran's going to throw again, got a man, past the first down, dragged down at about the 40-yard line by Dodd.
That play there, he just gets over number 92, Nick Fargo. Just right out of the reach of him.
Yeah, seeing Clifton with the catch. And you were right, it was just beyond the outstretched fingertips of Fargo. Cochran in the shotgun. Nordellis sidecar right. Gonna throw it over the middle. That's caught. Nice little catch and run there. And Merrill gets another good chunk of yards. Be 2nd and 2.
Both of these teams, Eric, are doing a great job by getting all of their receivers. I mean, Alaska's had a couple generic tight ends catch the ball, and it's just they're doing a great job by getting everybody involved on the team.
And in case you missed the star players on offense, we're getting them a show up there towards the top once again, as that's another catch by Optimus Klein. This one for a first down past the 30-yard line.
The leading receiver for this Alaska Storm team. Been in with over 1,000 yards on the season.
Impressive stat line. Made the switch from tight end to wide receiver. And he is just working wonders for this offense as he nabs just yet another ball, And that's an 8 or 9 yard gain. 2nd down coming up. Six catches, 69 yards for Klein. Cochran to throw again. Got him in on the right-hand side. Beats the defender, and that's Klein once again. Dragged down at about the 1 yard line. 1st and goal upcoming for the Storm.
Sioux Falls here is in a 4-3, but they look like we're playing too much man and allowed Klein to get to the outside. Just an easy post route, nothing too fancy to do damage on that Sioux Falls defense.
Levy whiffing on the tackle there doesn't help matters any for Sioux Falls either. 1st and goal coming up here for Alaska. They're in the shotgun. Only one rushing attempt for Stanley Nordellis, the non-contract running back. Throw over to the right-hand side. That's caught. Touchdown, Alaska, as they retake the lead on Robert Merrill's catch.
Actually, Eric, I would have tried to give it to Optimus Klein here because he did a lot of work getting them down there. I would have tried to give it to him for a little payoff there.
Want to reward the big fella for his work.
He's not number 3 in the receiving for this season for no reason.
It's absolutely true. As Burchett lines up for his extra point that can take the lead. Not a whole lot of airing the ball out downfield, but Alaska does its job as they get in the end zone and they retake the lead. 14-13 is your score. We will pause for a moment from the SFL. You are watching the SFL on Twitch, presented by APM Music.
Don't miss the SFL podcast every Saturday night at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern on Twitch before the league's weekend slate gets kicked off. Join me, Mighty RX, defending champion team owner Ramos Lynn, and our host Jack Brown to break down all the headlines in the SFL. Jack, yeah, I know we gotta move on. Calm down. See you there, everybody.
The SFL podcast, always a great source of info coming into the weekend slate of games as AJ Warren brings out his kickoff. And what do you think Sioux Falls is going to do here in their first possession of the second half, Shane?
You know, I have noticed something about Julian Tyree, and he may not show it on this possession here, but we'll watch to see if they get the second down or if they get the first down. I want to see what he does.
Big sexy wrecking shop on first down, though. Alex Dominguez getting in and gobbling up Redford for a big loss, 4 yards on first down.
Here's when Julian Tyree comes out of the huddle here and goes up to the line. He just nonchalantly goes up there. I've got all day, you know, let's
It seems like he's lacking a little bit of fire as he throws into double coverage. Alaska doing their job on defense. Davidson knocking the ball away.
Just a little bit more in the first half, but he's kind of doing it this half too. So he's got it's third down and 14. I mean, earlier he was firing the ball off. He was confident. He was getting the job done, and now not so much. This Alaska Storm defense has really put the hurt on him.
Already thrown 30 times in this ball game here, only for 140 yards. The one pick on that screen pass that was bobbled by Redford. He throws it over the middle, though, and that's caught by Harrelson. Big first down yardage, and that's exactly what they were looking for on third down.
He hit Sean Harrelson a little bit more. He's that slot receiver. He comes in. He's a silver wide receiver. You need to utilize him a little bit more. Just he can get the done so easily. It's just he's just a great route runner, in my personal opinion.
And you've had some personal experience with him with the Carolina Skyhawks, as he was a former member of the Skyhawk squad. Two wideouts, Redford in the backfield. Looks like a screen pass, and it is. Redford trying to throw the stiff arm instead. He ends up on his back. What a heck of a play there by Carroll as he lays out Redford.
Evan Carroll said, no, 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 not in my house.
Gave a little Dikembe shake there. Three wideouts, pro set, Tyree under center. Quick drop, quick throw over to the left-hand side, and it's batted down. That could have been dangerous there. Tobin was in there on the stop.
Not watched last week's game. That man right there was absolutely crazy. He was all over the field.
Both safeties have been all over the field here today. Tobin and Tony Willis. Willis actually getting an interception off of that Redford bobble that I mentioned earlier. And with 3rd and 7 upcoming, we'll see what Tyree and company can do. 4 wideouts in the gun. Short drop, pump fakes. Deep throw to the right-hand side. Got a man! A.J. Warren, what a catch as Davidson lays them out.
Reach stretched arms of Davison there, and I don't know if that was a great catch or a beautiful pass. I can't decide right now because this ball was put in here perfectly.
It seems watching a lot of these pump fakes, when they pump fake, it's when they're just kind of gathering their thoughts, gathering that power, and just throwing that perfect pass.
Saying Julian Tyree's back there, you know, powering up.
Look, he's doing all the calculations back there, okay? I'm seeing him with the whiteboard and the marker. I'm just watching, okay? Tyree to throw, screen pass over to Redford. Again, trying to throw the stiff arm, and again, he is rewarded by Carroll with a big tackle.
And Carroll is just laying the wood on that guy.
Let's go.
Seriously, who peed in his cornflakes this morning? I mean, good grief, just laying the absolute lumber out there.
Who didn't give the spoon for the cereal?
Exactly. 2nd and 8 coming up. Just about 5 minutes to go. They're going to run the screen towards the other side of the field. Blockers in front of him this time. Redford is going to make it into the end zone. Touchdown, Sioux Falls. Flashing the Dirty Bird.
And you deserve it. Beautiful, beautiful run.
And that was how the screen pass is supposed to go. I think Alaska was caught a little bit flat-footed on this, Shan.
The strong side here, and just has some great blocks. Look at number 74 right there. Joe Holt just was Can those, a lot of times the offensive line doesn't get that enough credit for me. They're the ones out there creating these holes. They're getting blocks downfield.
Without a doubt, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't disagree there. And like I said, that was a screen pass performed to perfection as Prefontaine nails the extra point. And it is now a 6-point ball game once again in favor of the Sparrows. What do you think Alaska is going to be wanting to do here, Shan, as they come out for their next possession of the third quarter?
First of all, they've got to be pumped up a little bit. I mean, their receivers are playing good. They're catching the balls. They're not creating turnovers. Defense, well, right now, but I think the offense can get them back into it. And run like that sure helps.
Yeah, it sure does all the time. As Merrill brings it out to the 35-yard line. And Cochran has thrown 26 times, completed 19 of them for 192 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. But the real story is they have had no run game whatsoever, as they have only handed it off to Nordellis one time in this entire ball game. First and 10, Cochran from the gun, plenty of time, finds a man wide open in the middle of the field. No one tackled him down. Okay, they're going to rule him down. I was just seeing all the bodies just dive over him. I was waiting for another bananas play.
Clifton here. I mean, he's down. Well, the knee and the elbow touched, but
there's just been too many times, Shan, that I've called a game where no one touches the receiver down and he just gets right on up, runs the rest of the length of the field, and it's a score. And with the bananas plays we've seen so far, that's what I was looking for. Cochran's going to throw again, another catch. I believe that's Clifton again as he muscles his way forward for a first down.
Sioux Falls linebackers are coming up, I think, a little bit too far. I think the corners are playing back great, and they're guarding the receivers, but you've got to guard the tight ends and that slot receiver and everything else. So once you get back behind those linebackers, these guys are catching the ball so easily.
2 wideouts towards the top of your screen. Cochran going to throw it to the bottom of your screen. And a stiff arm there by, that's a backup tight end. He gets dragged down at just shy of the first down marker. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Shabadebo. That name.
Can we put that on the SFL names list?
Absolutely. Alvin, there's your name for the all names list.
There you go. Throwing it over the middle of the field. Caught again. And that's Optimus Klein getting in on the action once again. And I think you're right. I think you hit it spot on, Shan. These Sioux Falls defenders are giving them too much of a cushion on these passing plays.
Look at the receivers here just cutting corners, basically.
They don't even have to run clean routes. They're just cutting right on in, and they've got all day to just run up the field.
Here again.
Similar formation, Cochran to throw. This time it's an out route, gets the feet inbounds as Klein gets dragged down about the 14-yard line.
Hey. 2nd and 6.
2 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Once again, if you're just joining us, my name is Eric Vincent, alongside Shan Varner on the call. Semifinal number 1 on the SFL Network as Cochran, dangerous throw, almost throwing another pick as it falls incomplete instead. 3rd down upcoming.
Nick Pop had that all in his hands. I'm not sure why he didn't catch that, but...
And Pop's been relatively quiet as well today.
He's an awesome corner. I stay away from him.
Cochran to throw on 3rd down again, throwing the same play. This time he's got a man, Merrill, on the side for a touchdown.
Watch here, Robert Mayer stays in front. Pop here, and that's why the reception was made.
He just ran that to perfection. You were absolutely right. Just maintained the proper position there to make the catch and give his team the score. And with another tie ball game, we'll see if Burchett can boot through another extra point to take the lead.
Ron Cochran to pick that up quickly also, because if it had developed a little bit more, I think Nick Pop would have jumped in front of it. So
Kick up and through. So it is now a 1-point advantage in favor of the Storm. So we get a look at the scoreboard here in the eye. Burchett going to tee the ball up. And we'll see what Sioux Falls can do. Finally, we're getting some scoring here in the second half, Shan.
absolutely.
Looking for that towards the start of the game. Didn't quite get what we were looking for. So it was only 7-3 at the half. Ball booted into the end zone. Warren's going to bring it out. Nifty little spin move. But he's dragged down just shy of the 25-yard line. And we will pause for a moment from the SFL. You're watching the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music.
Join the world's fastest growing sim football community by jumping onto our Discord server. Use the Discord command in chat to keep up with schedules, news, notes, announcements, and polls. Jump off the sidelines and into the action, here where we're loading legends at the SFL.
Michael Moore gets absolutely mauled over the middle by Andrew Francis, but he still holds on for a catch and a first down.
A reaching grab at that. Great. Man.
Definitely a fingertip catch there. Able to hold on even through the big old hit, which is great for him. Minute 47 and counting left to go in quarter number 3. Tyree under center, and he gets mauled up the middle once again. That defensive front getting in for, I believe, their third sack of the ball game.
If I'm not mistaken, that's his second sack.
I believe you are correct. Big Sexy getting the third one in there. And I think that's 2 by the generic.
You know, that's all to do with Big Sexy. You know, he creates that, you know.
Tyree to throw to Warren, and he nets a catch over on the right-hand side, knocked out of bounds by Davidson.
But what I was saying was, Big Sexy, you know, he creates that pressure to the outside, which allows the defensive tackles to get up there in the middle to the quarterback easier.
And that was what was going through when he was at a defensive tackle spot last season, as they move him over to defensive end this year. And the safety coming up and making a big-time play. Tobin in there to knock the ball free.
Open. He's all over the field, and you can see it here at this play.
Completely destroys Michael Moore on that possible catch. And there was no way Moore was going to hold on to that one. And Sioux Falls is going to punt it on 4th and 9.
There's a couple things that you can be sure of. Alaska's offense can be okay. They cannot have a quarterback. There's one thing that Alaska's going to have, and that's a great defense.
Amen to that. Absolutely. Can't argue with that one bit. Thankfully for them, though, they do have a good quarterback in Ron Cochran, who's been airmailing it all over the field today. 263 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3 picks to go along with those, but a quarterback rating of 90.85. And we want to thank Scott LaRue on stats tonight. He's been doing a great job. Thank you, Scott.
Man, appreciate it.
As Cochran pump fakes, sidearms it over the middle, and that was a duck of a pass that was begging to get picked off by Parker.
Was right there.
Probably should have gotten picked off on that play, honestly.
Would have picked that ball off, he'd have been going for 6.
Amen to that. So a 21-20 ball game. Again, the SFL playoffs proving to be magical, as this one a close ball game as well. 31 seconds left to go before the final quarter, as Cochran's going to hand it off to Nordellis. Only a second carry of the game, and it only nets him about 1. They'll mark it at 3rd and 9.
Eric, them running the ball with the main receiver, their main running back there, just opens up it for the defense.
Trying to get one more play in, and they do before the third quarter ends. Cochran, and oh my gosh, he makes that catch. He's running down the sideline. Not going to catch him, and Pop is the only one that can. He's not going to. Touchdown, Alaska. Robert Merrill with an absolute game changer of a catch.
It's his 2nd touchdown.
I thought for sure this was going to be an interception, Shan.
It's over the fingernail, just over the fingernails of Pop there. Not even the fingers, the fingernails.
Dodd looking like he was going to make that stop there, but just whiffs on the tackle, and then Pop just could not match the speed of Merrill. And Alaska is strengthening their lead going into the final quarter. Burchett lining up for the extra point to make it an 8-point ball game. Still a 1-possession game with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and it is 28-20 as we reach the end of the third quarter. You are watching the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music. I think we're just going to keep on seeing bananas plays for the rest of the game, Shan.
Yeah, I mean, Sioux Falls has got to turn it around. This is where they've got to make it a touchdown here. At least go down there and put some points on the board. They haven't scored in a while, and they've got to do something to show game.
Got to put the foot to the gas here, and that was actually the 3rd touchdown grab for Robert Merrill on the day. And it pushes Alaska up to an 8-point lead. We'll see what Sioux Falls can do here on offense. Plenty of time left here in this fourth quarter.
Alaska playing a little man here in the 3-2 formation.
5 wideouts, empty set for Tyree. Taking his time, finds a man in the soft part of the zone, and he gets about 8 or 9 yards as a result.
These teams do that. We're seeing both of these teams softening up that middle there and getting us completions, the linebackers.
Terrain James in there with the grab of the non-contract wide receivers on this squad. So 2nd and 1 upcoming. 4 wideouts this time. Redford back in the backfield. Short drop, Tyree to throw a screen pass again, and Redford gets first down yardage and more before he's dragged down by Willis at the end. Might have been another face mask from the look of it.
It's like he grabbed it.
Maybe just around the shoulder pad instead, but certainly looked like it at full speed. Redford getting plenty of work in this Sioux Falls offense. As Tyree to throw again, slings it over the middle. Warren with another catch before he's slugged down by Tony Willis.
Another Skyhawk coming over from Carolina.
And again, want to recommend you guys go into the App Store, go into Google Play, download that ScoreStream app. Keeps track of all the SFL scores on the go, so you guys don't even have to worry about it if you're watching it, although we prefer if you guys are watching it. Available for free on iOS and Android. That's the ScoreStream app. As Tyree almost throws another interception. We've seen a lot of those bobbled around today.
Ow. That should have been picked off.
Oh, easily, absolutely. With 2nd and 10, the result instead. 9:27 left to go for Sioux Falls. Getting their first playoff victory in the quarterfinals as Tyree pump fakes, throws it over the middle. That's caught for first down yardage. Michael Moore in there with the catch.
And Tyree's just making them pay over across that middle. I mean, it's just...
Both quarterbacks have been doing that all day. This time, Michael Moore with the catch. Tyree tossing it to him. And Tyree has thrown the ball 43 times, completed 34 for 267 yards. 279 yards as we get our stats updated. Tyree swinging the ball over to Redford. Got a screen. That stiff arm just not working against this stout Alaska defense tonight, though.
This defense has come to play.
Second and 7, 4 wideouts. Redford sidecar right in the shotgun with Tyree. Snap to Tyree. Plenty of time. Throws a deep ball to the right-hand side, and that was almost picked off by Davidson.
Thane Davidson was there. That had been a 6.
That was a bang-bang play there. Could have been caught by either party. Luckily for Alaska, Davidson able to knock the ball away. Sioux Falls faced with a 3rd and long here.
Last week against Mexico City, Julian Tyree threw 61 attempts and 43 completions.
Tyree to throw it again. Finds the man. Michael Moore again with a catch. That's another first down. They're just running these middle routes here that are just beating this Storm defense.
Michael Moore was wanting to keep going to the end zone here.
Probably would have made it to the end zone if there wasn't a whole lot of Storm defenders there. The Storm giving them a little bit more cushion. Sioux Falls throwing it over the middle again. And I think they're going to mark that just shy of a 1st and goal. Actually, they will give them forward progress, 1st and goal for Sioux Falls.
On contract, James there, wide receiver.
He's got another grab, 2 grabs already on this drive. 1st and goal from just inside the 5-yard line, Redford, and the Storm saw that coming. $64 yards rushing for Robert Redford and 47 receiving out of the backfield, 111 yards from scrimmage. And Redford gets another handoff, this time following his blockers. Davidson able to peel off his, though, and comes up to the line of scrimmage, knocks him down for no gain.
It was just great eyes by Davidson there, just to peel off his guy and recognize the play that was happening. That's another great animation that's not really used a lot, is run reader.
Absolutely, and Willis coming up and making that stop. Davidson coming up and making that stop. Tyree throwing towards the end zone. 2 guys in the area for the Alaska Storm. Double coverage, and it's incomplete. 4th and goal upcoming.
Hernandez gets a hand on that play, and it's 4th and goal. How many times have we seen this today, Eric? 3?
This is the 3rd time now. Yep, absolutely.
This game would have been totally different if they would have scored all 3 of those on all 3 of those drives with touchdowns instead of having to settle for field goals.
Prefontaine setting up for about a 29-yard field goal. Is blocked. Sioux Falls picks it up, though, and Alaska is going to drag them down at about the 17-yard line. And the way it was looking, that was going to be blocked the whole entire way.
Should have said you needed some points.
they needed something, but they didn't get anything on that drive instead. Alaska coming up the middle and just blocking that from the defensive line. Nothing fancy, no speed. As Cochran throws it over to the right-hand side towards the bottom of your screen, gets about 5 or 6 on that play as A.J. Levy comes up and makes the stop. And Shan, I don't know if you saw this in the chat, but Gooner Bear 94 said red zone, dead zone. And I think that describes Sioux Falls' performance in the red zone on this game tonight.
Yeah, just in this game, I mean, throughout the year they've done an exceptional job, but this particular game here, they just have not been able to push, past that into that touchdown, into that end zone.
And McCoye, the former Santa Fe Gorilla, getting his hand in there to knock the ball away. Looking for Optimus Klein on that play. That was a good play on the defense.
Big guy.
There's a reason he played tight end. He slimmed down just a little bit so that he could get a little bit more of his speed for wide receiver, but he is still huge for a wide receiver. 3rd and 4 upcoming. Deep pass to the right-hand side, tipped, and it falls incomplete. Pop still looking for his first interception on the day.
For sure. Really needed that.
So after the blocked field goal, Sioux Falls makes a stand on defense. Alaska's going to punt the ball away. And we'll see if Sioux Falls can get a score on the board. Any kind of score really would help, as a fair catch is called for at about the 40-yard line by Michael Moore. We will pause for a moment from the SFL. You're watching the SFL on Twitch, presented by APM Music.
Want to do what I do? Contact me in the DM on Discord to find out how you can get involved with streaming live games, calling games, or breaking them down on the air with our broadcast team. Or help make our production even better by joining our new live stats team, helping our broadcasters shine brighter. We are hashtag Loading Legends in the SFL.
Tyree, quick pass over the middle of the field. That's caught. And Harrelson is dragged down to the turf quickly after that pass.
To the statement I made earlier, just Julian Tyree he just doesn't have any here. I mean, he's just kind of nonchalantly moving to the ball, calling plays, calling audibles.
Just like he's playing football in his backyard.
Exactly.
We'll see if that pays off for him in this final quarter of play as Redford gets a screen pass, first down yardage, before he's tackled on the play by Carroll. Another big tackle by Carroll.
Man again.
Got to watch out for that man.
Let's go.
That Carroll, he is a mean, mean man.
Very physical.
Tyree under center as they pass midfield into opponent's territory. 2 wideouts. It'll be a handoff for Redford. And he barely makes it past the line of scrimmage. There's a little bit of extracurriculars there on the field. Big Sexy able to get in with the stop.
I see Sioux Falls needs to go to the air here. I don't think they need to be running so much with Redford. Maybe utilize him in the swing passes, but other than that, you got to move down the field. This game's 4 minutes left.
Sounds like they're listening to you on the offensive end. Tyree's going to throw in a 5 wide out look. Empty set. Warren with a one-handed grab. He's only got to get about 2 or 3 on that play, though. Good defense by Alaska.
Numbers between the two quarterbacks here. Touchdown.
Cochran throwing 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, 336 yards. And Tyree still working as he throws a deep pass over the middle of the field into double coverage. And it's almost picked off. Looking for Harrelson on the play.
was going up against Harrelson. That's the Hawks meeting there together, and Torres was able to come away with the block.
So Alaska going to get the ball back here after a failed third down conversion by Sioux Falls. Time is ticking away here. As I mentioned, Sioux Falls winning their first ever playoff game last week in the quarterfinals, looking for their second as they down Alaska inside the 5. Looks like it was down at the 2.5, and Alaska will have some work to do.
Sioux Falls defense is playing pretty good. You know, their special teams obviously is playing pretty good. Blocked field goal there, but other than that, everybody's doing their part except for this offense. They need to move the ball down the field often.
Quick handoff to Nordellis, who's got plenty of room in the middle of the field. He'll get about 8 yards as he's tackled by Levy. Slow to get up is Nordellis, but it looks like he's okay.
Great play. Expected it. It just like came out of nowhere.
Well, he's only ran the ball a couple other times today, so I mean, why would you expect to run in that situation? .255 and counting. Cochran doing his best to chew some clock. He'll throw it over the middle of the field, loft it over to the defender, and Optimus Klein able to reel in his 10th catch, if you can believe that.
Threw it to his tallest receiver, 6'4", 225, Optimus Klein. Out of the air.
10 catches, 116 yards, hasn't cracked the end zone today. He's been thrown to 17 times. Robert Merrill getting the catches on the touchdown end. He's got 3 of them today, as he's over 100 yards receiving as well. 1st and 10. Clock ticking towards the 2-minute warning. Cochran to throw again, and he's got Klein once again inbound, so that clock will chew. And you see Max Paul on the sideline getting geeked up as we hit that 2-minute warning, Shan. Two minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 1 possession ball game. Alaska moving the ball well, though. Sioux Falls shifting defensively. Nordellis to get the handoff, and he's got plenty of room. 1st down yardage and more, and Sioux Falls has to burn a timeout.
Watch this line open this hole up.
Just an
It's just
unbelievable play. Absolutely. A.J. Levy having to come up, and he was the first defender that he even really saw.
I think I would be upset if I'm Optimus Klein. I get him all the way down here to the red zone, and Merrill gets the touchdown passing in. I would be aggravated.
You got to give the big man some love. Absolutely. We were talking about that on the last drive where Merrill caught that touchdown pass. Cochran shifting in the pocket, but he gets dragged down. Sioux Falls burning another timeout, but this time it was on the positive end as they get a loss of 6 on the play.
I think Sanders just comes off of his block there, just makes an exceptional play. Pushes him down a little bit after the fact.
Might have been a hold there. Looks like the offensive lineman got him up high. No call, though. 2nd and 16. 1:53 left to go. 1 timeout for Sioux Falls. Cochran to throw. Over to the right-hand side. Got Optimus Klein, and he sneaks past the defender. He gets dragged down at the 15-yard line. Sioux Falls having to burn their last timeout. And I don't see a reality where that's not going to do it.
way that Sioux Falls has been playing on offense, you just got to wonder. I know that Sioux Falls has it in them. I know that have 3 great receivers. They have the tools. How Reed does.
Absolutely, they do, and they've obviously shown those to get this far into the playoffs, to the semifinals, and Alaska looking like they're going to line up in victory formation, ready to advance to the championship game. So they take a knee here. Again, we want to remind you guys, this is game 1 of semifinal Saturday. We've got one more semifinal coming up. The Houston Hyenas coming into town to play the Tallahassee Pride, the undefeated Tallahassee Pride. Both of those teams looking to get into the championship game. Tallahassee looking to complete their undefeated season. And it looks like they will meet the Alaska Storm, as Ron Cochran probably going to take a knee here. Nothing that Sioux Falls can do, as Cochran takes another knee, and the clock continues to burn. Shan, what do you think from this ball game here?
I think both teams played great. Both teams aired it out. I think turnovers really didn't matter either team, but I think that get open. I think they were just bound by short passes and running the ball, and Alaska knew that. And Alaska's defense stepped up in the second half and really just shut Sioux Falls down.
I couldn't agree more. Both teams, really played an equal ball game in the eyes of turnovers, in the eyes of the game plan, in everything coming up, as the clock is ticking down here for Sioux Falls, as they will go home with one playoff win under their belt, and certainly a lot to grow on, as this is a dangerous ball club, especially with that defense. And the Storm can now celebrate as they get out of here with an 8-point victory over the Sioux Falls Sparrows, and they will advance to the SFL championship game.
Appreciate everybody coming out watching this game with us today, Eric.
Absolutely. We had plenty of guys watching today. Looks like 78 viewers right now towards crunch time. And certainly want to thank everybody for coming out, watching the SFL Network on Twitch, presented by APM Music. Once again, we've got one more semifinal coming up. Houston and Tallahassee, live from the Sunshine State, coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Shan, you got anything else to say before we send the people home?
Oh, man, this was a great game. I hate it for Sioux Falls. I think that they're a great ball club. They're in these semifinals for a reason. I just think that it was the Alaska Storm just a little bit too powerful for them. Nonetheless, great job to both of these teams. And good luck to Alaska going to the championship game.
Absolutely. Congratulations to both Sioux Falls and Alaska, but it is the Alaska Storm coming away with an 8-point victory at home to advance to the SFL championship game. For Shan Varner and Scott LaRue, everybody down and deep in the heart of Texas at SFL headquarters, my name is Eric Vinson. So long, and stay tuned for the second semifinal down in Tallahassee. Good night, everybody.
All right.